Oh,
Get
I
ready,
forgot about that.
because it's about time
I was about to say, yeah.
for you to speak your mind. Super Secret Girls Club. Secret Girls Club. Super Secret Girls Club.
Hello!
Hi.
Hi everybody. How's everyone Wednesday going? Welcome back to Super Secret Girls Club. This is Navi.
This is Marketa.
And it's been a few weeks since we have done it. We've been talking about making Super Secret Girls Club monthly. So we're gonna test it out. Also it's holidays, so it's kind of easier to do it monthly. But yeah.
But also, we decided to do less of Super Secret Girls Club because we want to do more
Yes.
of something else.
Yes, which will happen starting next year. Sometime.
Do we wanna tease
Go
it?
for it. Yeah. I
Sure.
mean, we have teased it in one piece, so we might as well tease it here.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know, if you haven't been watching One Piece, which I'm like,
Why haven't
why?
you? Yeah. So
But
good.
anyway, we are going to start a different manga club.
Yes.
Aside from the One Piece manga club, which is going to run forever, we are going to start a new manga club with different new and upcoming manga that are just, skyrocketing to be hits.
Yeah.
So we will be on Viz looking for the new hottest things, and we'll read like the first few chapters just to see how we feel about it, and then we'll have discussion about it, and just it will help us be better knowledgeable
Of all
on
what's
what's
upcoming.
happening.
Yeah.
And we won't feel like we're missing out anymore on stuff.
Absolutely. So you heard it first here in the Super Secret Club. I'm super excited about this. It's not gonna be specific, like it's gonna be 3 normies, as a host between 2 of them, but we'll end up getting other normies volunteers, so they will be interchanging. You will see like Serge, Mickey, Pat, all of us one by one. But yeah, reading short mangas, essentially giving our reviews, and we can also get recommendation from all of you. So it'll be manga club. We'll see how that goes. So we'll expand into more, but we'll start from that starting next year every Wednesday. We'll still do SSDC, we'll just do a less of it, so we can do more of the manga club and go from there. But yeah, we're here. I'm so excited. It's been so long to be here with you guys. Kitty,
This room,
we don't come to this
it's
room.
a vibe.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
we've
a
been
whole thing.
utilizing the room for other things now, and so being back here for Super Secret Girls Club feels weird.
It has been.
But-
When was the last time we did it? It was like a month.
It's probably been a month.
Yeah. it
So
has.
since it's been so long, let's do a regular catch up. What have you been up to?
Major life events. So if you guys heard, I was fostering 2 dogs.
Yes.
Which was a chaos. I am not fostering both dogs anymore. The older one, or the bigger one, Paranese, is with a new family. He is loving it. But the smaller one, who's a corgi mix, I gonna keep her for now until summer. So her and Nico have been getting along. That's been like the biggest thing. I think been walking both of them. It's been taking a long time. It's just hilarious because you know how Nico is. When she gets excited, she runs. You've seen Cash tumble. Like she will tackle Cash, Pat's dog, and Cash will like tumble across the room. So she tried to do that with Ellie as well, and I had to like protect her. So Ellie like stays close to my legs, so she knows like she won't get tackled that way. But they've been getting better. They're both in the same room. They don't sleep together. Nico still sleeps on the bed. I don't allow Ellie to be on her bed because Nico gets too jealous. So it's just still time and space for each of them. But they're getting along, so that was good. And my brother was home this weekend, and he brought his girl, the new girl that like he's dating.
How was that?
It was great. She's super sweet.
Yeah.
She's super sweet. We had dinner yesterday.
Did you go to the place?
No, not to the boy, because she's vegetarian.
Okay.
And there was barely any options.
I think there was one option.
There's one option. So we went to a new restaurant. We only been there one time, like to tinker to get the drinks and appetizer. Yes. We had a little bit, so I never actually ate there. So it was nice. Like a whole family went there. My sister had been there before, and they had. I mean, they don't have a lot of vegetarian options either.
Yeah,
But they had. like a lot of appetizers were vegetarian, so we
Yeah.
got all the appetizers, and there were 2 vegetarian large dishes, so she got one of them. Like their menu is not huge, so we almost ordered everything.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
7 of us, so like we got
Oh, God.
4 different appetizers, all 7 large plates. So like we end up ordering. Nobody repeated order, so it was nice. She had a lot of fun. She liked indie. She's also from LA, so that was good. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
funny. His friends came over Monday. We did sauna.
Yeah.
And when he wasn't in the sauna anymore, he was like, "So what do you think about it?" I was like, "She's sweet." It's like, "Yeah, we also like her." I was like, "Good." Like, okay, like I guess we will have this come. I
You were
didn't
vetoing her.
exactly. Like I didn't even think about it. I just assumed like she was good because KB is like so big, like not bringing a lot of people all around. So when he did, it was like I think she's like I already assumed she would be nice, and she
Yeah.
was. So I was like, "Oh, I assume everybody," and then. His friends talking about it. I was like, I guess as a friends we will talk about it. Like, what do we think about this?
Nice. Is
was
she
nice.
Indian too?
She is,
Okay.
but she's not. She's Hindu. So here's the annoying part. She's great. Nothing to her. She's amazing. I haven't heard anything from Dad if he's okay with it or not. But he made such a big stink when my sister brought like her food
treats,
around,
yeah.
and he is Punjabi, but it's a different kind of Punjabi. And I like literally, I'm not kidding you when I told you we had fights. Like me and my dad, we had fights, like arguments and all that stuff to a point where it was like, you are not marrying this guy. Like what's the point? And it took him so long to be okay with him. Like they're okay now. I guess they drink together and all that stuff. And he barely made any stink about about KV's girl, which I mean, I'm glad he hasn't, but I hate the hypocrisy. It annoys me and Priti. Like it's sad because it's not something that we want to take off on KV, right? Like it's not, and we want to take it on anybody else. It's just him.
Dad.
It's my dad. It's just like every time, like, yeah, when Mom first told me that KB was bringing his girl, and me and my sister, we were there, and we just looked at each other like, this would have never been acceptable if it was us. We would have never been able to bring anybody home before, like engagement or marriage or anything, and who happened to be a completely different person than like what religion we are. And here we are. It's okay. I wish sometimes KB was my older brother, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
I think it's part, obviously it's part sexism,
Yeah.
but it's also, I think, the younger the child is, I feel like
Open
you are
people are.
the first like icebreaker of the rules as the oldest.
We had a
Like
Vietnam
your rules
War.
are the strictest,
Yes.
and then like the next one, like the rules are a little looser, and like and then I mean the younger they get, like the parents are just like, fuck it,
Fuck it,
like
they're
they're
fine.
just tired.
Yeah,
of
I know they were
enforcing the
super.
rules.
Yeah, I know they were strict on him, but I think he also pushed against a lot, which I think it helped them. So like, I know I just said it a lot. I wish he was older brother, but I think it would have been worse because then he would have been more stricter, and I don't think he would have pushed it that much. And if I was younger, I don't know if I would have had that much benefits. Even though I'm younger, because I'm a girl.
Yeah.
So it's weird. So I think he's not only his youngest, he's a boy. So he gets a lot of leniency, which helps me if I bring anybody else home. Be like, what are you going to say? Like, it just sucks that I have to like piggyback off of on him. But it's just one of those things like, I'm going to therapy on this. And he just brings somebody home. It's like, okay, great.
Right.
He doesn't have to spend any money. And I have to spend so much money to take over this trauma.
You're taking additional benefits.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's true.
Therapy is good.
Therapy is good. It helps. But yeah, that's been I think my major life update is just been dealing with dogs. It's been better now that I don't have 3 dogs. It's been so much better.
Yeah.
I know there's still some fur here and there, but the both dogs don't bark a lot. They don't really have a huge separation anxiety, and didn't realize how big of an issue that is. Yeah. But what about you, Ketty? What's your major life updates been since we have last talked?
Well, before I share my updates, I just want to let people know there is going to be an ad break in about 1 minute. You can avoid having an ad break if you become, what's the word?
Prime member.
Prime member.
Yes.
Follower on our Twitch.
Yeah.
I think it's $5. So if you want to do that, you'll be able to skip ads for an entire month.
Yes. Right. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, we are only paying attention on Twitch chat. So here we are. But yeah, we'll continue talking. All right.
So, speaking of pets, My
Oh,
cat's
yeah.
been driving me absolutely crazy.
Still now?
No, I mean,
Okay.
we figure things out, but so a whole month, right?
Yeah.
We had a house guest in like most of October, which was great. But my cat obviously is a little territorial, and I think that played a role in his freakouts, occasional freakouts. He hurt my guest to the point where she was bleeding a lot because she was also she was taking blood thinners.
Yeah.
So when he scratched her, it bled a lot, and me and Chris were both like, we have to take her to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like everything, like fuck this cat. Like I was so mad at him.
I bet. I bet.
So I like had to rearrange my entire house and like make sure that he only stays upstairs. And then like eventually she was comfortable with him being around. I was comfortable with that too. So we just started like letting our rules be a little loose again.
Yeah.
But then he had like an outburst again.
He did?
Outside.
Oh, okay. After she's gone.
No. It happened while she was there.
Oh.
Outside for the first time ever with me. And so she was able to like get a blanket, like she did the whole thing.
Oh,
that
gotcha.
you did. So we managed to get him back into the house, and I want to just stress out how insane my cat looks when he's in the mood.
He has red eyes.
He has red eyes.
Yeah.
He poofs up, and he is like he's allegedly a short hair American cat, but when he poofs up, he looks like the electrified. I don't know. I don't know.
Electrified Pokemon.
Electrified. Yes.
Yeah. It's like everything is. He's like this fluffy cat. Yeah.
With the red eyes.
Yeah. Great. Fun times. Looks so scary. Yeah.
And he makes the most insane sounds, like literally from hell. So yeah, that's not fun.
So what you guys
Dealing with the
have?
cat.
So now it's like he just goes out by you being there.
So after our roommate left, my cat, he did it again while I was with him.
Oh yeah.
And I was by myself, and I was stuck with him outside because he was just guarding me, making sure I don't move an inch because I was his, I guess, prey.
Oh Lord.
So he was just like guarding me, making sure I don't move 1 inch. And every time I moved, he would just like attack me and swipe me. I have my feet are covered in scratches.
No.
And it was rough. I had to call Navi to rescue me because
She
I
was
couldn't
out
move.
for an hour.
Yeah.
She wasn't asking for help. I was like, girl, you're not going to be out in cold for an hour. So that was the whole thing.
Well, I also thought that he would fucking snap out of it and calm down because
Which I assume.
I'm his person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like after like 5 minutes, we'll be like, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's never taken this long.
Yeah.
He's never, and it also seemed like there was not any reason. Usually there is like an underlying cause, right? So that's what made it even more difficult to
because you were trying to figure out what it was.
I have a running theory that, and I did see paw prints of raccoons and like other animals.
Could be.
So my running theory is that he can smell urine and just like animal presence in the backyard. And that probably triggered him. I was raking leaves right before he attacked me.
God.
And I was carrying some leaves in my hands to cover our garden bed. And then I reached with the same hand to like tell him, oh, it's time to go home, buddy. And he was like,
You must have been so freaked out. Like, what just happened?
I still have a little bit.
Oh
Like
my
I have
God.
a little scratch here. It was all like, there was like a big bruise here because he just fucking...
So let me ask you, you have a bunch of scratches now, and you guys did a photo shoot yesterday, right? Like for OnlyFans. So how do you go about with the scratches? Do you photo shoot, like Photoshop it?
No.
Or do you like try to stay away from that?
So I actually on Monday when we did our photo shoot, I was
Oh, yeah.
wearing
It's Wednesday.
like white stockings. So
to hide it?
Yeah, so I was
Gotcha.
just wearing stockings to hide it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we don't really use Photoshop at all on the photos.
That makes sense because that would be a whole thing you have to think about now. It's like, oh, you have like scratches that
Yeah.
maybe people like that.
So also when I was, oh my god,
What if they like
They
the
like
scratch?
abuse.
Yeah,
When I was-
there's a whole niche that you could go into.
I came back from Mexico with like 50 bug bites on my stomach and my thighs, and they were like red and just like bumpy,
Oof.
and it looked disgusting. And I was just like, well, guys, I'm taking a week break because I can't take pictures of myself
sense.
looking like this. This
That's-
is dumb.
Yeah, some things that you don't even realize you have to think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first time chatter, Rakuzu, thank you so much. We do love this red sweater.
Oh, thank you.
I love Uzui Tengton. So Tengton's
Actually,
great.
I was thinking about asking if you wanted because it's kind of small on me.
I'll take it. I
Okay.
love Uzui.
I love the
Great.
sweater, but
What
I
is
do
it
feel-
small?
I feel like it's. I mean, I feel like it fits me like just.
Barely. Then take my
You know
Denji
what I
because
mean?
Denji is it's like extra large that I got.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can get Denji and I can get Uzui.
Sweater
So
swap.
Sweater swap. There you go. That works perfectly.
I got
great.
it at on
Popcorn.
Etsy.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was popcorn.
So yeah, it's I don't know. This is just like a regular sweater, and this was just somebody made
I love
this
it.
and put
Beautiful.
it on. It is really pretty. I really like the eyes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. So what are we doing today?
Well, our main topic is going to be about anime villains.
yes. So
We're gonna be rating anime villains. I have a list of villains. I made sure that I only include characters of anime that we both watched.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna be skipping past some. But before we
JJK.
do, let's address some major events that also happened in the anime world and other worlds.
Yes.
First, AOT ended.
Attack on Titan ended.
The sub, well, the manga ended a while ago.
Yeah.
Now the sub final finale aired. And our dub crew is gonna wait for a while.
Do we know a date on
Feels
dub?
bad, man. I mean, it
like,
took them like half a year last time.
Yeah,
So.
it's so funny because I keep coming across these amazing memes, like theories, right? And I want to send it to the group, and
I know.
our group has like a
Same.
pad and run. I was like, I
Same.
can't send it to you guys. You can't
Same.
watch this. So I just send it to like Marketa and Surge separately.
Yeah.
Like, here, watch this. But yeah, no, that ending was insane. I've been
Yes.
talking to so many people that I forget that I watch Attack on Titan whenever I come across like, oh my god, have you seen this? More and more things come around. So what is your theory? You read the manga and you said it was like exactly the same. So
More or less, yeah.
what is your theory? Do you think they're gonna continue, like maybe not the author, but is the anime is a Titans continue?
Oh, the Titan world.
Titan world continue. Seemed like that kid going in a cave.
Already that there's going to be like a prequel manga about Levi specifically.
Okay.
Which there already has been some OVAs
Yeah.
about him
Yeah.
and
Or
how
his childhood.
Yeah, his childhood like underground.
Yeah.
So I guess there's gonna be another story exploring more of like the underground city.
We love Levi. So it makes
And
sense.
yes, we love Levi. We stand
Yeah.
him. So I would definitely be reading that if it comes out.
Yeah.
And I would like to explore more of that world.
We can read that in Manga Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it'll be separate chapters. So it'll be
Yeah.
nice.
Have you ever watched? There is this fever dream fucking Attack on Titan high school anime.
No, but I heard about
it's the
it.
funniest thing.
Because author did it, right? And he said that it's actually canon.
oh my god.
Like
There's no way.
like all the work that he's done outside of it with the characters is a canon because there's Levi who's a janitor and they're all in school.
Yeah.
Yes.
I only saw one episode and it was so funny. Then and like when Bertolt comes to the wall
Yeah.
to like kick it open, he basically just leans over and grabs Mikasa's lunchbox and just puts it in his mouth and then walks away. It's
That's
so
hilarious.
dumb.
That's so funny. I
Yeah.
need to watch that one.
But were you overall happy with the way it ended?
I was. I think it's complicated. You know, like Aaron is our main guy. I think the only way for that to go down was to take him down. But at same time, I really didn't think our team would have won. Like, I really thought our team, it was such a desperate situation that our team was not going to win. It was like, this is it. Aaron's going to kill. I mean, he eliminated 80%, right? Like, only 20% was left. Like, there's maybe he will eliminate all the other ones. I'm glad it went the way it did. Just a couple things. I wish Mikasa didn't kiss Aaron's severed head. I wish that kiss had happened in the memories, in what if memories between Aaron and Mikasa. That would have been really sweet.
I mean, I think it kind of did in her head.
In her head, yeah. I mean, it would have been nice to show it there, and then, but we never saw it, right? But we did see her kissing like Aaron's head, so it just seems like is that the only time, in our like the way we look at it, like is that the only time you guys have ever kissed, ever? And that happened to be when after you killed him, which is such an insane. Only person who could have killed Aaron was Mikasa, the one who loves her the most in the world, and it's just devastating and sad to know. Like, imagine if you have to do that. That's like the saddest thing, and you have to because your love has eliminated 80% of the population. So it is definitely. I do liked it. It was really, really good. There was a lot of things that I keep seeing. I remember seeing Dog Titan, and they're saying that that's a Dog Titan from like the end. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, okay, so that does happen because there was a Dog Titan.
Okay, it can be.
It's
a theory.
It's a theory. They keep saying that's a possibility. And it does look like
dog.
It could be any dog.
There was a wolf titan too.
There was a wolf titan too, yeah. But what are the possibilities? He's a beast titan. Like the dog titan's a beast titan. And also like I'm happy that John ends with Mikasa. I know they don't mention it in anime. It looks like in manga.
It's also a theory.
That is also a theory. That would be a good theory. Somebody saying was like he ended up with Reiner. And I was like, that makes no sense.
Mikasa and Reiner?
Mikasa and Reiner.
No.
I was like, that makes no sense. What? I hope that doesn't happen. So Mikasa and John, that makes so much sense. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
It was good.
I ship John and Mikasa.
Yeah, it was really good. It's just, God, I can't believe he destroyed 80%. And it made sense. The reason why he was doing it was essentially if there are people alive other than Eldians, there will always be a conflict. And what end up happening is there's still conflict. As a human beings, we're always going to have a conflict. Even if it was just Eldian that remained alive, there would have still been conflict. Because then there would have been rich Eldians and compared to like poor Eldians. And then there would have been some kind of conflict. So for him to, if he knew that was the case, because he knew, right? Aaron knew there was going to be always conflict, and only way to do the whole rumbling was to do 80%, and that's when the idea was that's when the rest of the scouts will stop him.
But it's also when he would lose his life, and like he knew that that had to happen.
Yeah.
And like it had to happen exactly that way, and Mikasa had to do it for Ymir to see that. Like it all had to happen in this exact way.
It was for Ymir.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yes.
Because
then she lifted the curse of the Eldians so that it erased the Titan curse.
Gotcha.
And it wouldn't have been able to happen without that.
Fair enough. So he would have had to do genocide.
Yes.
For that to
happen.
happen.
It had to happen exactly like it happened.
Yeah. Did you also see those scenes going around? You know, that kid that they were raising up to Ed? So apparently
I think I said it too. The pregnant girl, where Aaron sees it. I was like, that makes so much sense. So it was like scene where it was the same girl,
Aaron and Levi and all the team when they first land from the boat to the what's that new location? I keep
forgetting the name.
Like across the ocean when they get to this new city when everybody's tried ice cream for the first time. Marleyan City. And Aaron all of a sudden see this lady or girl who's pregnant and his face just drops. Liberio. And his face just drops. And at that point, we don't know why, but it shows like that was the kid in the end who was being saved by everybody. Just to imagine like he will be doing the rumbling where that kid exactly will be at the edge. So it had been about few months since that scene, I guess. Like she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Let's say like she was 6 months pregnant, 3 months, and the infant. So it's like 4 months by then, 4 or 5 months. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was
It
insane.
was very sad.
Yeah. What are your thoughts overall? Like you have read the manga and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I really liked the ending, and
Yeah.
every time people would be like, well, until you see the anime, how it changes the ending, because it's trash. And I'm like, but it's like,
Why is
how
it trash?
yeah, first of all, how is it trash? And two, why would it change the ending? Like, how?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Apparently there is a whole like
Subreddit?
faction of fans that created, there's a fanfic that's very popular with alternative ending.
Oh, okay.
I kind of want to read it. I haven't read it,
I want to read it.
but I'm
I love
curious
fanfiction.
because that one is very popular, and I believe Eren survives
Okay.
in it.
Okay.
That's the only thing that I know that's different, but I'm assuming they changed like Mikasa and like Jean, I'm assuming. Doesn't
Yeah.
end up with her too. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know that there's that.
What do you think about Ymir's reasoning for doing all that? Because so my understanding, if you want to like, so she kept going because she was in the place where there were paths meeting, and only other people who could be in where the paths were other titans. Not all the aliens could be there, and she was the one who built all the titans, and she kept doing because of love.
Yep.
For
Well, she was doing it more because of like subservitude. She was just subservient to the king's will.
okay,
Yeah.
because I think that's also an issue a lot of people had, was like that definition or that reasoning motive was just a little bit weak.
Yeah.
But I think it can be said like it wasn't really love, but more so, I guess, scared or just servitude, like Stockholm syndrome, like you just stuck in there and you don't know anything different, and you don't. She didn't know anything different. That's all she did for life when she was born.
I mean, yeah, the Titans stopped moving. The rumbling stopped moving when they beheaded the one royal connection. So I mean, she couldn't do shit without that royal connection.
Yeah.
So
It was always there. Yeah, I'm glad that Zeke was like, here I am. And you had to take a second. He was like, I'm done. Same with Mikasa, man. She was so patient. It was like when she made up mind like this needs to happen, it happened so quick. Like there's no thinking. And I loved it. It wasn't like she got there and there was like a 10-minute conversation. Like, no, she did it. There's no conversation to be had.
Yeah.
But it was great.
yeah,
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I think it was well done. The Ymir thing is the only thing that I was just like, this is a little weird, but what do I know? I was never a slave.
Yeah, that's true. Never a slave who's been doing it for thousands of years,
Yeah.
and she obviously wants to get out of it. For people who are just joining, we're talking about Attack on Titan. So if you haven't seen it, spoilers. Yeah, but yeah, that was the only way to do it, and I can't. It's
Yeah.
insane. But yeah,
Another anime that's happening currently is Jujutsu Kaisen, which I know that you love.
I love JJK.
I want you
good.
to pitch me why I should watch it.
Okay, here's my pitch. Here's my pitch without giving us spoilers.
Yes.
So it is a little bit similar to Chainsaw Man, and you love Chainsaw Man.
I do love Chainsaw Man.
So JJK, beside the animation, is top tier, like beautifully top tier. It is essentially there are curses. Every person has some kind of cursed energy. You are either a sorcerer who can control your cursed energy, or you are a human being where like small cursed energy is leaking out that is turning into actual curses. Because you can control it, like this fear curse. There's
So it's like negative emotion.
negative emotions that's making curses. So sorcerers out there are the one who taking care of these curses.
They go to therapy.
They can go to therapy. People who don't, like, it's essentially like non-sorcerers, like they just don't know they have this cursed energy, so it's just
Okay.
leaking out with like their fear, with their emotions, with everything.
Okay.
And it doesn't really impact them, but they can see there's curses around. And then there's some curses who become so strong because of like the hate from human beings or whatever. You know how they have
Yeah.
gun curse. It's kind of similar to
Like
it.
the gun demon.
Gun demon. So kind of
okay.
similar to it. And then so it's essentially a big deal with that. So what's happening right now is a big battle between sorcerers who think there should not be any non-sorcerers around. It's because of their fuck up that there are cursed energies. There's cursed spirits. And then their sorcerers, they're like, no, we can't do that. So Ghetto he is a human being who is a sorcerer, and he like goes through a lot of tragedy and kind of sees like, why are we saving these non-sorcerers from all these curses when they don't even care about us? So I'm like, it's because of them. It's actually they can't control curse energy, which is why there's murder curses who is impacting, because curses can get really strong and can kill a lot of people. And we have Gojo, who is great. I mean, people have their opinions. Some people love Gojo. Runner love Gojo. I think he's way too strong, and he's not overhyped. He is really, really strong character. Like that when he was born, it changed the balance of the world, and everything started becoming more stronger because he was so strong. But now in this season, he's a little bit out. So he's like captured. Like, so now it's like the mission to save him. And yeah, there's just so many curses. The villains are great. The villain characters are beautifully drawn, and they're just villains. Like they're just evil.
Yeah.
And I love character design when they're drawn beautifully, and like they're just evil for the sake of being evil. And people always like, why are you loving this villain? And he kills so many people. Because I mean, I don't love him because he's donating money. He's just villain, right? Like he's villain and he's evil for the sake of being evil, and that's his goal.
This is interesting because I feel like I always get hate for not liking villains.
Yeah.
And I guess you're the opposite.
I'm the opposite. I love villains in this show. And like there's one character, Sukuna. He's really strong. And this whole story revolves around this character called Yuzi Itadori. And he ends up eating one, like, so when Sukuna died, he was a big curse. He had 4 hands. So he like took out all his fingers and distributed everywhere. Okay. So Yuzi Itadori, he's a main character. He eats one of the finger. And he gets like that soul comes back in him. So he's able to control it. So the whole idea is they can't destroy these fingers. He was really strong. So they were thinking like maybe Yuzi can like find them, eat all of them slow by slow until like for some reason his body can control it. Once he has all of them, he will die. That's like, he knows this. He knows this. He's like, we're not going to kill you right now because we'll kill you later. So... and he will help. And he's like, I'm a good guy. I will help you guys save all this. But now he has so many fingers in him all at the same time. Sukuna is out. He ate all the fingers. I know how it sounds. But yeah. So Sukuna is out. I love Sukuna. He is so strong. He's so evil. And I wanted Sukuna to be out. And everybody was like, oh my God, Sukuna's going to wreck everything. Man, we've been talking about Sukuna for season 1. I want him to like come out and show us exactly what he can do. So there's a lot happening. Characters are amazing. You've heard about Nanami. Nanami's beautiful. I
saw the memes.
So many memes. He is great. JJK with the fingering, lol. But yeah, no, it's really good. It does have a great female representation. It's similarity. Like a lot of people compare this to Naruto, just the way the team is set up. But it's not, beside that, there's not much similarity. Like team, the way it's set up, it kind of looks like Naruto, but the Naruto was, ninjas. This is demons and curses. If you love Chainsaw Man, you will love it, especially Mappa. Did really, really good job. It goes really fast. There are no fillers. And there are few characters who are kind of black and white. You understand why they're doing it. Yeah, like I love Ghetto. I understand why he started what he started. But it's too much now. And this whole incident happens in Shibuya arc, Shibuya in Tokyo, and it's exactly the same.
Yeah, I heard that too, that like they did their homework.
Everything.
And mapped everything.
Yeah, so there's people going around like taking pictures from the anime, and then like they actually showed so they did exactly the same. So it's funny because I've been to Shibuya and I know how busy it is, so it feels really real to me for them to be getting trapped for this. And
interesting.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I so recommend watching it. Mahito is great. Ghetto is great. I want to dress up like all the villains. Nice. I don't care if you guys hate me for that. The villains are the best. Yuzi and the main character is good, but the villains, man, beautiful. They're beautiful.
I remember. So Chris was watching.
It has hot dudes, Marketa.
Dude.
That's all you need to know.
I mean, that's anime, right?
That's anime.
For some reason, every anime character has six-pack and just like squares for breast with like just straight line.
It also has panda. It has a panda.
Sure.
It says a panda.
So did you get a chance to watch the Avatar trailer?
I have not seen
did
Avatar
not.
trailer.
Okay.
No.
We will not talk about that.
We can talk about it. I heard things about it.
You heard things?
I mean,
Okay.
I've seen Avatar, so we can talk about it.
Everybody's seen it.
Yeah.
I'm
Are you
cautiously
excited?
optimistic about it.
Are you cautiously optimistic just as you were for One Piece?
Yes.
Because that was amazing.
One Piece was amazing. I was continuously obsessed with that Skylar.
Oh yeah, we
It's a
continuously
big problem.
Yeah, continue sharing Task Skyler every time like he posts something like stop it, stop posting.
I know.
Just stop it.
I know.
Only if he knew that Task made everybody simp for Sanji.
I know.
Well, Sanji simp for
How
everything.
did it happen?
Like it changed everything.
I don't
But yeah,
understand.
okay. So positively optimistic. A lot of
Yes.
people are cautiously optimistic about Avatar. But yeah,
It looked. I mean, I have seen a video about the trailer where like screenshots have been shown.
yeah.
And it looked legit. I really like the Kyoshi war. There was a Kyoshi warrior
It was beautiful.
with the makeup and everything.
Yeah.
That looked really cool.
Nice.
So I'm excited to watch it, but hopefully it's good.
It has to be. I mean, can you imagine they're putting money in this for a show that is widely loved, and there was a movie that was widely hated, so they should know that there's gonna be a lot of criticism, just like One Piece. Like One Piece was a big deal to take on, with so many people loving it, so it had to kind of have a similar mindset of what Avatar, that they cannot fuck it up.
Yeah, but as I think that the major difference, as Amepura points out also, is that the original creators left this project, whereas Oda stayed throughout the production and helped with casting and writing the characters and like how to change the
And then
merge the
listen to
stories.
Oda.
Yes.
Yeah,
So he was like a big part of
that's true.
the success because it lived up to his vision.
That's true.
That's why I'm worried about the Avatar one, because I don't know if they're gonna do. I don't know if they're gonna do it justice. If especially if the characters left. I mean the creators left.
Yeah.
Other creative differences. That is like that's a red flag. I was gonna say that's a small pink flag, but no, that's a red flag.
That is a huge red flag. And if you guys don't know, Suraj did create a video essay on an Avatar and watched.
It was a rant.
It was a rant. So if you guys want to hear Suraj rant about
He was
Avatar, he was red and sweaty. So it's a great video. You must watch it. We love our rants here.
Are you excited for any other premieres in 2024?
I heard Chainsaw Man is coming back next year.
That soon?
I think so. That's what I heard. I could be wrong. I want all the animes to be back. I want Demon Slayer to be back.
Yeah.
Super excited about that. So One Piece is entering its final arc.
Ooh.
Ever. So like
my
this arc is
God.
ending, so it's on its final arc. So I don't know how long will that take, but that's gonna be something
Do you
big
think
that's
we'll be able to
ending.
catch up?
We're halfway done.
I know,
We
but
have
like
40
if it takes him like a year, then we should be
we
able
should
to
be able to.
there.
We should be at least close to it. We should be very close. So
Yeah.
that's one thing that I'm hearing, that the One Piece final arc is starting.
That's insane.
That's gonna be insane. So I think I'm just excited to just get there. We'll see how that goes. But yeah.
Have you watched? God damn it, Arcane.
No, I have not. I saw first couple episodes. It's not that I didn't get into it. Again, one of those shows that I just sit down and watch it.
Yes,
Which
you
is
do.
why it took me forever to watch
do.
Trigun Stampede. Like I need to sit down and watch it. So
We'll talk about that too.
Yeah,
but-
so I will watch it. I've been obsessed with the Great British Baking Show.
No!
I'm on 10th
Make it
season.
stop.
I'm on 10th season. It's
But that's
so
that's a good one to just watch in the background.
Oh, it is. So that's why I've been like binge throwing it, because
Yeah.
like I don't like, they're so
Okay.
good.
Last thing before we move to the villains, Marvels. Have you?
I haven't seen
you
it.
Haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. I heard mixed reviews on it.
Yeah. Are you gonna watch it?
No.
No.
No, no. I mean, I would watch it if normies are watching it. By myself, I never go watch movies. So this has nothing to do with the Marvels. I just don't go watch movies.
Yeah.
I did hear that it did terribly at box office. All the Marvel movies during opening, they make more than $100 million at box office. This one was like 46 million or 40 or something less than 50. But it could also be because, the actors weren't marketing themselves because of the strikes. But they did spend quite a bit of money on marketing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a lot happening with Marvels.
I'll say personally, I haven't been into like the superhero genre to begin with, and then when Chris like started introducing me to like Iron Man, I think that was like the first out of all the movies that he made me watch. Iron Man was the first one that I actually enjoyed.
The first one, and then Thor.
Yeah, it was like the first good one.
Yeah.
Thor, I thought was ass. The only Thor movie I liked was Ragnarok.
Ragnarok was so great. People love Thor because of Chris Hemsworth.
Yes.
He is great.
But yeah, I think after like this next phase that we're going through, I feel like the for me personally, it's not really rooted in our world.
Mm-hmm.
It's like more like out in space, and like it's or it's in like the different dimensions,
which is like not really impacting us. So there's no,
or it's in the fucking nanoverse verse, like the the tiny.
That's
anyway,
true.
I personally don't care for it as much. I think it, especially with like Ant-Man.
Yeah,
I feel like there was like so much CGI because they are in like a microscopic universe that I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I can't,
fair enough.
I just can't, somehow I can't myself
come to watch it,
be engaged in it.
Makes
you know
sense.
what I mean?
It is also a lot. I think MCU, they did a great job of connecting all of them for Endgame, but now it's hard for them to bring new people on board because you have to watch all these Disney shows. You have to watch like all the movies and all the other shows. It's like, and I missed few, and I'm like, I feel so behind. It's like Star Wars. Like, it's just so much Star Wars. Like, you have to be from the beginning, which is not a bad thing. I think it kind of sticks with it. What I realized now that I'm watching like Cobra Kai, watch Ted Lasso, I like those shows, but I love anime better. Like, I absolutely love anime or cartoon. Like, tomorrow we're gonna watch Bleach and then Young Justice, and like I get so excited, and we're gonna read One Piece. Like, I get so excited. But if I have to watch like Cobra Kai, a bunch of them, I don't hate it, but it's not something that like excites me. I'm like, okay, we'll watch it. It's good, and people love it.
What is your favorite reaction to do right now?
JJK. Fucking love JJK.
I knew it was the
It's so good. It's so funny. Like, it's so, every time we watch it at storage, and Chris is like, all right, let's get ready for a pop quiz. It's like, let's do it. But we've been getting A+ in the comments recently, so I think we passed the exams.
Good.
So that's good. We are keeping up with it.
That's good.
It's so funny.
I also, I guess the one last thing I want to say about the Marvel is I was so disappointed with Eternals when it came out. And I was like, I was determined to like that movie.
Yeah.
Because I saw how much hate it was getting.
Yeah.
And I thought it was unjustified because I thought it was like, coming from a place of homophobia, because there's like two guys that kiss in the movie. Very like just...
Yeah, like a peck, and that's it.
Yeah. Or that it was just, there's a lot of like female lead characters. So I thought that like, people are hating on it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
But then I watched it and I was just like,
it's horrible.
This is bad.
Yeah.
This is trash. I really didn't like it. And I also feel like the fact that they're trying to pretend like what happened in Eternals didn't happen.
Yeah.
It's pissing me off. Because like it was like a major event that should like affect the entire planet, like how
MCU
fucking like tides work and the moon and like everything. Because like a big thing happens to the planet.
So
and then we're just like, and then we're just existing on this planet.
So is it assumed that it's happening in the future? So maybe they will bring it up later sometime, or they're just gonna we're just gonna forget this Eternal was ever made. Like,
it's just not a good movie.
Eternals
is a top 10 MCU movie according to who?
I no idea.
Yeah, the Eternals should have been an Avenger level event.
Yeah.
I don't wanna talk. Let's
So I
not
think
talk
your
about
main
it.
concern is like they made this whole event. If they're connecting all the Marvel movies together, this should have impacted quite a lot. It should have been an Avenger level event. The one thing there was, and I think the other concern I have with the Marvels, I haven't seen it personally, but I feel like it's a bad timing, right? Like strikes were happening, they couldn't market it, and maybe the movie itself is bad. But I mean, I've heard it's good. I heard it's good, or it was okay. I haven't heard it's terrible. So it could come back to again, like, oh, it was all female lead. Like maybe they weren't liking it, but it's like it just sucks that the strikes were happening. They couldn't market it, so we really couldn't see the real impact for it.
So it did get. Like the early critics were really shitting on it, but the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is like higher.
Oh, okay.
Well, the critic review was like at 60%, and the audience is over 80% now.
Okay.
So it seems like
People
maybe
like
a lot
it.
of the hate was not really justified.
Yeah.
And I heard from a few people that I know also that it was a good movie.
Yeah.
It was a good flick. It wasn't like a serious movie.
Yeah.
But it was a good, like a chick flick.
Yeah. And that's not like, I guess,
And
why
that's not
people
bad.
watch Marvels either.
mean-
So, like, Marvel movies.
I'm sorry. Since when was Thor serious?
That's true.
That's a boy flick.
That is Thor is a boy flick. If boys don't know what the flick means, like that's what that is.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough
That's funny.
talking about random stuff. Let's talk about the villains.
Yay!
So I would love to rate. I have a list of villains.
Okay.
The last 4 are from One Piece.
Okay.
So do you want to start with those, or do you want to keep them to last?
We can start with One Piece.
Okay.
So how do you want us to rate them? So essentially, I love this villain, or this villain's like I mean, because it's villains, right? Like, so we understand why they're doing what they're doing.
So let's do like S tier.
Okay.
Super villain.
Okay.
We love him, the way he looks, the way he acts, his motivation.
Got it.
And then we can do like A tier.
Okay.
It's like he's great.
Yeah.
But compared to the S tier, he's not there.
Yeah.
And then we can do
Okay, fair enough. That works. 3 tiers.
Yeah.
Love it. And also, guys,
S-A.
yeah. And love. I just also want to let you know there will be ad in a minute, so you guys can do a Prime subscribe and you won't get those ads. Otherwise, we'll see you in a few minutes then.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So starting with One Piece villains, let's go starting from, I guess, chronologically. Let's do Crocodile.
Crocodile. Love the character. He was beautifully designed. I think he was really good character. Even Oda himself was like, I brought him on too early. He should have been like, I was like, should have been a little bit later. I don't think, what was his motivation? Why he wanted to do all that? Because he just wanted.
He was controlling the rain, and the sand in the drought in Arabasta.
And he just wanted to take over.
Yeah, he wanted to control the region.
Yeah, he was 8 here. I think he was fine. I think he was being villain for the sake of being villain.
I mean, his motivation was power.
Yeah.
And territory.
Exactly. But villain should be going after is power. I totally understand this motivation completely. And I think he did really well, as in like he was one of the warlords, and he like made people loved him, and like he was kept his secret like identity hidden from the Baroque works and everything as well. I will say A. Spend them as tier villain. Spend them. Spandex can go kiss my ass. Like no.
Spandex. We hate spandex. Spandex is.
Yeah, exactly. That is Avenger John Gamers. It is S tier, A tier, or that thing. That I can't say it. I can't do it. It's like F, A, or S.
You can blow a raspberry.
Yeah.
All right.
There's my raspberry. It's
so
horrible.
Okay. So Crocodile, we get an A.
And what makes a villain S tier versus B? Our opinions.
Yes.
Only our opinions.
Our subjective,
very subjective
unprofessional, and highly biased opinions.
Yeah, and if you guys feel differently, please let us know, and we are welcome to change. We get convinced very easily. So there you go.
Oh, I forgot. Chronologically, we should have started with Arlong. I forgot he was on a list. So Arlong is next.
Love Arlong.
I really liked Arlong, and I think he was the first villain that we got introduced to. There was like a really big, major. He was a big problem.
He was.
And I want to give Arlong S tier rating
Yeah.
because I really liked the fact that he was personally affecting the well-being of one of the main characters.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And like the Nami's
Nami.
motivation and everything was centered around this character.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that just for the sake of where he was placed in the story,
Yeah.
I want to give him S rating.
It's fair. And I think also the live action hinted on it that the manga and the show hasn't yet. We haven't been to the fish world where we're gonna go in One Piece. So essentially, like, he was doing this motivation because he was, you know, discriminated against. Essentially, like the whole fish people were being discriminated, so he rose to a power, and he wanted to be the big bad wolf kind of thing, which is great. And I think that motivation makes total sense. Understand why people become villain. If you are gonna discriminate them forever, then they are gonna have to take power up against. So
and I
you
think
can
that
really go against it.
Well to the S tier rating. For
Absolutely.
me as well.
I love that in the. I mean, I don't think we have seen him how he looks like in an anime, but in live action, he looked like a pimp. And after watching like Boondocks, he's like a Mr. Pimp.
Slipback.
Yeah, he's a pimp named Slickback. Yeah, I was like, he looks like him, so he worked really well.
That's so funny.
Yeah, S tier. Arlong S tier. He was
Arlong
great.
S tier.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yes.
Perfect. Watchdog says I'm gonna need some alcohol for this review. Also, Baron of Roses. Best villain is water because Luffy can't swim.
Yes. Pimp named Slickback.
Perfect.
Arlong is a pimp named Slickback. That's hilarious.
Okay, we have two more characters from One Piece.
Yeah.
One is Eneru.
Eneru.
I don't know why, but I just can't stand him.
Yeah.
And I want to put him in the category.
Yeah.
And I'm really not looking forward to him being back.
I loved his drip though.
I love his drip.
The drip was great.
Character design on point.
Yeah.
Love his pants. He looks
Taller
like tall
Eminem.
with fucking hoops.
Yeah.
But yeah, NL I give B for his god complex. Yeah. He's too much like out there, you know what I mean?
He is. He's not a smart villain.
No.
Because like even with the cover stories that we are watching, he's like essentially killing things and asking questions later. It's like, don't you wanna know what's happening here? Yeah, I think he was fine. His powers are great, but he could have managed them better.
Yeah. I don't like stupid villains.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love intelligent like villains that know what they're after and why.
Yes.
And I feel like he just like wants something. He's like a spoiled brat.
Yeah. That's why you will love JJK. Although villains, like, yeah, they're villain, they're evil to a core, but they're smart about it. Like, they are few steps ahead. They're planning it out. It's so good. Oh my God, JJK. You gotta watch it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't talk about all the villains today.
I know.
Maybe we can revisit this tier list after I watch JJK.
Yeah, they will be all S tier. All of the villains are S tier, beside one, but that's it.
Okay, and the last character we have from One Piece is Rob Lucci.
I don't like him.
I didn't like him.
I didn't like him because he wasn't really a villain. He was doing...
He was.
I guess so, but he was government's pawn, right?
Exactly.
Like, he wasn't doing it on his own motivation. He was CP9. Yeah, like, I guess that's a mission that the government gave it to him, and he just wanted to... Technically, he's not a villain because he's a military person, but he is a villain because he had to fight against Luffy. So I guess the whole Navy is a villain then.
Yes.
Well,
but I mean, he's one of them. He was the leader. Of the CP9.
Yeah, but yeah, he was a more of a. I mean, I can. Okay.
And he was undercover for a while. Like he pretended to be like.
Yeah. So I guess he was
like
a villain.
Calidor, he was like pretending to be someone's friend.
Calidor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Ruchi loves to kill and use the
Yes.
government excuse. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So Rob Lucci,
yeah.
Eneru.
Yeah.
Then we have Crocodile with rating A.
Yes.
And Arlong in the S tier.
Yeah. And
So
Spandam is
far.
also in bottom.
Spandam is the most raspberry I could ever blow without just dying of exhaustion.
Yes, Spandam
That's
sucks.
where he is.
Spandam sucks. All right. Who do we have?
Okay, let's talk about Million Knives.
Yes.
Because Navi finally finished the second
Stampede.
Stampede.
Yes.
Trigun
Trigun Stampede.
So she's familiar with knives.
Yes.
And I love knives.
Yeah.
He is my favorite villain of all time. I think I want a tattoo of knives on my back.
I love it.
Giant portrait of knives, my entire back.
Love it. With his like knives going all around. Yeah. No, Million Knives is great. So his whole motivation was essentially he is spoilers if you guys haven't seen Trigun Stampede. He is essentially a byproduct of a plant who is if I understand
He's a
plants,
hybrid,
Yeah.
plant and human.
so if I understand plants correctly, we haven't really talked about this.
Yes.
So if I understood plants correctly, like the plants are just a form in our world and Earth, and they get a power from another source in a different dimension. And human beings are using these plants. They're overusing these plants. But Knives wanted to essentially free all the plants. But
I wonder where you got the other dimension. That never occurred to me.
isn't that what they were trying to open? He was trying to open that portal so he could like get like through
Right.
Vash.
Okay. Yeah. At the end.
Through a Vash.
His hand was okay.
Yeah. So that's where like from the other dimension, and Vash's whole idea was like you have to like the humans being has to use plants, or plants have to be used by human beings. They have to be symbiotic relationship, because then the plants will have too much energy. They don't know what to do with it. That needs to be used by the human beings. Obviously, human beings were overusing it as always. But Million Knives also said that was a propaganda prepared by humans. So it's not necessarily true, which I was like, it could be true, it could not be true. The whole point of Ash is like we can live peacefully together instead of destroying one or the other.
So I don't remember what happens in each of the series because I watched them both.
Okay.
But some of the plants you saw, they were like dried out.
Yeah, they were dried
so
out.
they were absolutely getting overused.
Yeah, because they did like a last one too, like where they just screamed and dried out, and that's what he was using, dried out Million Knives on top of his piano as a memory to like always look at it. Yeah, that was creepy and makes sense.
Yeah.
Million Knives is great.
Yes, I love Million Knives because I think I love both of them. Trigun. I mean,
Vash.
oh my god, Vash
Stampede.
Vash and Knives, I think, are like opposites of the same coin.
Which
you know
makes
what I mean?
sense. Yeah.
Because their
They're
upbringing
brothers.
was the same. Their like genetic code or whatever you want to call it. So like the nature is the same, and the nurture was also more or less the same, but they had some negative things that happened to them in their childhood where that one guy from the ship was beating up on them. And I guess Vash chose to focus on his caretaker, who was really nice to him and showed him love.
Yeah.
And just important of human connection. But Knives couldn't move on from the abuse that he endured as a child, and like just associated human beings overall as a whole. Yeah. Not with the good one. Yeah. Ram, but with the abuse.
Yeah. And also I think what was also happening with Million Knives is like, you know, when he did get that abused, he wanted his brother there for him.
Yeah.
And his brother was with Ram. So the whole thing he was really doing was to get his brother back on his side the whole time, which is because every time he will say something in his memories, Vash was like, you didn't say this, Rem said it. And like Million Knives was really like he was jealous of Rem because he wanted his brother to be there as his support system. Yeah. And it just kind of sad.
But I think it also brought like a good issues about like identity, because they were both like half human, half plant, and Knives identified more with his plant side.
Makes sense.
And he just like empathized more with like them and how they're being abused, and he thought that he's also basically, he was created for a reason.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to be a servant to humans.
Makes sense. So he's hybrid. Are they ever gonna tell in the next series how they came about to be? Like, did somebody fuck a plant? Like, how did that happen?
I think they were like tube babies.
Oh, okay.
I think there was
That would make sense because it was just weird. Yeah, it was interesting, like telling a whole story essentially, like human beings left Earth for this another planet with plants, and they crashed at this place. And so Nye just didn't want them to do the same thing to another planet, but so it made sense why he destroyed all the ships. Million Knives S tier. S tier because his motivation made sense. And honestly, if I was at his place, I would have done the same shit.
I know. I feel like I want to think that I would do what Vash did, but I would probably do what Knives did.
Yeah, Vash is too naive. It's
Love and
difficult. Love and peace. Nah, man. If I was around with Vash who did it, I would have been like Undertaker. Like, dude, get the fuck out of my face. Like, you cannot be telling me love and peace when people are killing each other. So this is, I watched Trigun Stampede that came out recently and supposed to be prequel to Trigun. So I haven't seen the Trigun yet. So I'm hoping that they're kind of similar.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. So in S tier so far, we have Million Knives and Arlong. That's it.
Awesome. Love it.
Let's talk about Father from
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. What was his motivation again?
I mean, he was the main homunculi. He was
and he wanted more homunculi, and he wanted to be able to use the like alchemy to the best of extent.
He wanted to become the most, like, the perfect, I guess, species. Wanted to become God.
Yeah. I didn't like him because he was terrible father to his own kids. I guess he wanted a power, which makes sense. That's what villains do. Yeah, I like Father, but I feel like the sins are better.
Yes.
Yeah, sins were better. The homunculi were great.
I picked Father because he was like on top. He was like the top dog.
Yeah,
I did like the sins better as well. I did love greed. I loved wrath.
Lust. I loved lust.
Yeah.
Lust was great.
Yeah, I really loved wrath because I just wanted him to be the good guy.
Yeah.
I get completely fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like the reason why I'm not a big fan of Father, like I understand he's a top person, right? Like he wanted to be like a god, but then he's creating these other evil saints, homunculi, to do his bidding for him, who call him father, whereas he never was a father figure to his own kids. And it's just, even though the sins were evil because they were born to be evil, right? So they were great. They were doing their job, but it's just, he's just using other people, other things to do his bidding.
So I guess wanting to be a god is not a sufficient enough motivation for our villains to make it to S tier.
He can be, if he wanted to be a god, he needed to make his own hands dirty and not make other sins to do bidding for him.
So just like Enaru, he gets a tier from us.
Well, no, I give him A. I don't give him B.
Okay.
He was still villain. But yeah. Right. But I do watch that. I miss Brotherhood too. Brotherhood was great. We are thinking about doing that in sub.
Yes.
Because we watched it in dub. I will love to rewatch it. It was so good.
Okay. Let's talk about Muzan.
Kibutsu from Demon Slayer. We haven't really seen him do a lot.
Okay, we have not. But I will say that makes him interesting for me.
Yeah. Because
I think that the mystery around him makes him more terrifying. And he has already done enough fucked up shit that, like, the fact that he's not around a lot makes him so much more interesting to me.
Yeah. Especially when he, like, so many powerful demons are scared of him. Like, I think that's a big deal. Yeah. He is good. I think his motivation makes sense. Like, he's a demon. Like, he's a Yeah, he's a demon. He wants to be out and about in sunlight. A lot of demons are created because of human beings' stupidity, their fear, their anger, and all that stuff. So it makes sense that he wants to turn everybody demon. And their whole one weakness is they can't be in the sunlight. Try to find Nezuko. Yeah, I think he's S tier. He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great motivation. It's funny because Demon Slayer, Pat watches Demon Slayer, right?
Yeah.
So he's watching Harry Potter with us, and you've seen Harry Potter, right?
Yes.
All of them. So
I don't remember a lot of it.
so we just watched the Goblet of Fire when Voldemort just came actually in person, like he just became a person. And Pat goes, "We need a new villain." I was like, he just became a person. But he was like, "Well, we keep like fighting him." Like, we're not really fighting him. Like, people keep hinting at him that he's this
so
powerful. Just like Muzan, like people keep hinting like he's this powerful. We see him a little bit and everybody cowers around him, like he's scared. He just saw him in Half-Blood Prince Dumbledore. R.I.P. Dumbledore. So he understands it, but it's just like, dude, just because like if you keep hinting at a villain, it makes him that much scarier. So yeah, but he's great.
Yeah.
Muzan's great.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Muzan. I'm excited to see Muzan fight properly. Like that would be great.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to, and I think that's gonna make it such a great finale.
Such a great
And
finale.
especially because he was like gone, and he just kept sending. And I guess the same could be said about Father, but I guess like he never ended up fighting his own fight.
No, and he looked like he couldn't have withstand without those pipes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like without it, he looked.
He looked like a meat bag.
Yeah, he looked frail.
Yeah.
So is Demon Slayer coming back next year?
I think so.
I'm super excited for Demon Slayer. I love Demon Slayer. I love
Demon
anime.
Slayer Mappa? No. Is it?
Is it toy animation?
Toy?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think so. I just like because AOT just ended, right? Like it's almost the end of this year, and I know that Chainsaw Man was in production for a really fucking long time.
That's true.
And they just came with 10 episodes, and they were beautiful. The music was amazing. It was a beautiful work of art.
It's UFO table animation.
Oh yeah. Ufotable.
Ufotable. Ufotable.
Okay, so that makes maybe Chainsaw Man season 2 is gonna happen also, but I don't know. I want them to take their sweet time if it means that we're gonna get another season that is as amazing as the first one.
Yeah.
Then yes, I will wait.
Yeah. So in JJK, the last episode, I'm gonna keep talking about it. Last week episode was phenomenal. It's Mappa.
Okay.
So their animation, I think they spent all their budget on the intro. The animation was great, but their intro goes hard. But the last episode apparently was one that was being worked on for a while back. I think Braktir also told us about this. So that one had great animation. Like the fight scenes were great. And I hear the episode that's coming out tomorrow. It's mind blowing. So I'm so excited for tomorrow.
Nice.
But yes, Mappa. But the whole animation stuff, I think, I don't know if there's more JJK news, but I heard that the last episode, they worked on it longer than the episodes before. People do say that there are some things they can see, like the saving time, like, with the frames, they'll be going for a punch and all of a sudden it made impact, but like it still looks amazingly beautiful that me as an amateur, I wouldn't know the difference. But it's so good. But yeah.
So instead of I was gonna add Gun Devil from Chainsaw Man.
Oh yeah.
But instead of that, I added Makima on the list.
From Death Note?
No, from Chainsaw Man.
Oh, Chainsaw Man. Is she a villain? Makima? We don't know.
Is she a villain?
Have you read the manga?
No.
Okay, so you're just talking shit. Okay, are you saying something?
So, do you remember that scene where she's just like
took the prisoners?
She has all the men there,
Yeah.
like, and she's just like playing strings and just like fucking beheading them one by one. I don't trust her. I also don't like how she. Well, okay, first of all, I love her. As I think she's an S tier. If she is a villain, it's fucking S tier.
Fair enough.
But my flags are raised, just waving red flags with
Makes
her.
sense.
I don't think she's like a good person.
Makes sense.
I think she's a villain. I think she's like double, triple agent on some bullshit.
But what do you say? Like, I know. So let's say, Makima. whatever her technique is, she has to use other human sacrifices,
Yeah.
it seems, to do her job.
Yeah.
And she used prisoners who were on death row.
That is also true.
So does that make it fair that even though she is so powerful, she has to use technique, at least she's not using random people, she's using human beings who will get killed.
But is that her choice, or is she doing that because she's like working for the government and they have regulations?
What kind of regulations would the government have? Like,
Because they need this division in their secret service.
True, but like, you know how if she hadn't done what she did, our people would have died.
Yes.
Like, it was so critical. Like, they almost died. Like, Denji actually almost died. So it is, I think, with working with the government, she gets access to the resource to the prisoners, that she's able to do that. It's like Father wanted from FF Map, like he used all the prisoners to create Philosopher's Stone. Oh my god, you okay, Nico?
Oh.
They used prisoners to use a Philosopher's Stone. I guess that will make her a villain too. I don't know. I don't think she's a villain, but I do think there's a lot that we don't know about her.
Okay, I think I agree with that.
But
if she is a villain, I'm not gonna stop liking her.
Yeah.
The one thing that I truly do not like is her manipulating Denji. Because Denji is a sweet boy.
But hey, whatever motivation works, right? Like, if you know that's the motivation that's gonna work. I love that she's like, you want this? Do you want to touch my boob? Here, like, go for it. And then Denji's like, oh my god.
All right, that's tier, I guess.
Yeah, we'll wait and see how it is. I do think she could have been a villain if she used or a horrible human being if she had used any people like from the street to do her technique, because she's using a prisoners that were specifically on the death row.
Yeah.
That kind of helps me to understand, like, hey, if she does need that to her technique to work, at least she's using only the death row people.
All right, we're gonna put her in S tier with a question mark, because whether
Also,
she's a villain or not is unresolved.
I would love to know what she was doing before she started working with the government and had those resources. Like, was she just killing people left and right?
Yeah. I will say that Makima is the most interesting character in the show for me.
Yeah.
And I love to know more about her.
For sure.
Definitely S tier. All right, we have four more that I have on the list. We have Vicious, All for One, Light Yagami, and Eren Yeager. Which one do you want to go through first?
Let's do Eren Yeager.
Okay.
Well, let's do Light Yagami.
Okay.
Light. Is he a villain?
You guys know how I feel about fucking Light Yagami.
So wait,
A teenager who is he's smart, woohoo.
he got the book.
That was luck.
Yeah, but then he was only. It's been a minute since I've seen the anime. So he was only killing bad people, right? He was like Dexter until
in episode 9 he kills an FBI agent.
That's true, because they were trying to catch him.
Because he was killing people.
But he was only
So he wasn't killing. No, he killed fucking, what was her name? Naomi.
Yeah.
On episode, and maybe as episode 7 or 9 or something like that.
True. But whether it's luck or not, he has the death note, which he could have used for a greater purposes. But the government came in, who was like, oh, no, we have to like take you down regardless. I'm thinking of a Dexter. Was Dexter a villain? I guess Dexter. Did you ever watch Dexter?
No. No, I'm good on
I think Dexter was a villain.
I heard that the ending was so terrible that I'm not even gonna start.
Oh yeah, but if you ever watch his first 3 seasons. It was great.
Okay.
I don't know. I wouldn't put him in S tier, but I don't think he's horrible either. I think he didn't realize if Light Yagami could pick a lane.
How could he not realize?
Smart. He's smart, but I don't think it took him a while to realize that he is turning bad. You know, he had a good intention. And then all of a sudden, we're like, oh my god, shit, I'm gonna get caught. And he started like going down the rabbit hole, which turned him into.
He was ready to kill his own father. Didn't he? In the end, did he? I think he did.
I don't remember that. B. Okay.
Light is a little bitch.
Oh my god.
There, I said it.
The light.
Hate me all you want.
I was sad that he killed Elle. That was the saddest thing.
Yes!
That was the saddest thing. And the show was okay after Elle. I'm glad that it didn't keep on going. Yes, Light started killing people who are being lazy later, people who don't contribute to society.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the power went to his
super
head.
capitalist.
Yeah, the power went to his head. He was like, I have all this power.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to agree on putting him on the tier list somewhere. I refuse to put him on S tier.
He's not S tier.
If you insist, we can put him on A.
No,
But
I think
to me he is.
Yeah, I think he can be at that tier because he wasn't really a villain. If he acted as a villain, I mean, he was a villain. He was a stupid villain. If he acted as a villain from very beginning, he could have done it really well. He could have killed so many people, but he was trying to be good, and then his power went to his head. He became narcissistic, and yeah, he's fine. You can put him wherever.
He's always been a narcissist.
He was.
There's another reason why I didn't like him.
What? Like, there must have been a reason why he specifically got the book.
No, it was literally just like
luck.
Because
just
Shinigami
dropped
lost it.
Yeah, it just lost it. He picked it up.
And it was like, oh, now I'm gonna hang out. Give me apples. Like.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Aaron.
So where's he?
It's the bottom. He's raspberry.
Hey,
He's a raspberry.
nice.
Welcome
Okay,
back.
I thought this
Buckier.
would be harder to argue about.
No, I mean, I wanted him to be better, but I think he just was stupid villain.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have Vicious, All for One, or Eren Yeager. Vicious from Cowboy Bebop. Do you remember him?
Yeah. He was okay. He was whatever.
He was just like a murderer person.
Yeah, I barely remember him.
Oh.
Let's do Eren Yeager.
Okay, we're just gonna skip Vicious.
Yeah. Is Eren a villain?
I guess our audience does not understand why he's on the list, even though he wiped 80%.
Yeah, I mean, he
the
did
planet.
commit a genocide, so I guess so. But he was doing it now that we have finished the show.
Yeah.
He was he was doing it because that was the only way for Ymir to see it and lift off the curse.
Mm-hmm.
However, he could have somehow also left off the curse without destroying 80% of the humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't go that way. I guess that will make him a villain. I don't know. It's difficult. He is a villain. I mean, he committed genocide. Obviously, I was not a Jaegerist, so what he did was wrong. But he thought that was the only way to go about it. I don't know. He is S tier wherever we put him.
Yes, he is definitely an S tier. Yeah, average John Gamer says he is the villain, the protagonist, the anti-hero, underdog, god, all at once.
He is all at once.
And an idiot.
And an idiot. He's an idiot with too much power.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eren is the Messiah. Well, sure.
Where do you put him? So you consider
I think
yeah.
he's definitely S tier for me.
Yeah.
I really love Eren as a character.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I definitely sympathize with him.
Yeah.
And I understand why he did what he did, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because he did wipe 80% of all life, not just human life,
80%.
all life, trees, plants, animals,
Everything.
all the dogs and cats.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, so he definitely did that, and that's terrible. I think it's crazy that I still sympathize with him despite all that.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to put him in the S tier.
Yeah. So was there another? So the other way was. So I think the other way that we kept talking was to show the world there is a rumbling. Do it a little bit of it just to give them people don't mess with us. But what Eren wanted was literally to have the curse lifted. Mm-hmm. And could he have done that without the 80% genocide? Could he have made Ymir lift that curse?
According to all the comments that came in my way after I asked this question, apparently not, because if he didn't wipe out that large amount of population, people wouldn't believe And that's a valid point. People wouldn't believe that the aliens do not have the curse anymore, and also not having that curse would prevent them from being able to defend themselves. So because they were still like hundreds of years behind on technology and progress and anything, so they would get wiped out.
Okay, so how did that make the world think that they didn't have the curse anymore? Because literally right after the curse was lifted, the Marlians were like, okay, how do we believe that you don't have the curse? You can turn Titans immediately. So how, like, there's no way after all that they'll be like, okay, yeah, the curse is lifted. You destroyed 80% of the, like, why do we, maybe that was the goal. Eliminate 80%, then stop being a Titan and then become Titan again when, like, world getting populated again.
I think it made the population even between Eldian and the rest of the races. I don't know. But for some reason, that was the number. That was the equilibrium, I guess, that he saw. Because he said he relived it multiple times with different scenarios, that he tried to make it not be this. But this was the only way. Like, fucking Doctor Strange was like, there's this one scenario in which you can kill Thanos. Yeah. And you will die. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's an S tier. I guess it is a huge... The reason why I don't think he's a villain, I know he destroyed 80% of the humanity. He did the genocide. He clearly, with all his action in the beginning, when he saw that woman who was pregnant, his face kind of he was distraught. When he was talking to that kid in Marlin who was like kind of thinking, you know, like, Ramsey? I'm going to destroy it. Yeah. So he understood what he was going to do is horrible. He understood what he was going to do. He was horrible, and it was just the only way to do it. Yeah. And he knew, like, at that certain point, his friends will stop him. So that will happen, just to let them know before ahead of time. I don't know. It's difficult.
Aliens? What?
It's difficult. It's just one of those things, like, if you know the world peace, it can only happen if I do this one act. Would that make me a villain?
I think that is... I mean, in any other context, that makes you very stupid and naive to think. And true. I would think you're definitely in the tier.
Yeah. I mean, it is for him to think, like, especially even though he did that. But it did work.
It worked for the people that he cared about. It worked for their lifetime.
That's about it, because the conflict still stayed.
You can change human nature, but that's fucking years, thousands, hundreds of years later.
And that's where I am, like, world peace did not happen. He says so himself, the conflict continued, and it will continue. Yeah. Then he could have just shown a little bit of rumbling and stick with it, but I guess that curse will continue going, and then people who have the curse, they will be 13 years, like, only living 13 years, so the curse is, like, horrible for the people who actually have it. And
I love the chat, by the way.
Yeah.
Everybody feels very strongly about this, and I love to see it. But I don't know.
He did do a selfish reason. I mean, I can see he is I don't know. He's a villain. For his mind, he needed to do what he needed to do, but at the same time, he did it to, like, tell people the conflict will always stay. So it makes him idiot in my book. Not necessarily a villain. He's naive and idiot.
I don't see how that's relevant to his story, because it literally happens after all of his friends are not even alive anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's
how
true.
Does that humans will devolve back into their old habits affect what he did for the results of his actions that affected exactly who he wanted to be affected?
But what if he had only done, like, a soft rumbling, didn't kill 80% of the world, but you saying, like, because they were so behind on technology that they would have, but maybe at that point, because they knew the world existed outside the world, they could have upgraded there. And again, they always have those rumblings, but it will just suck for the people who have the curse. They will have to live for 13 years, so he had to do it to lift the curse.
They would essentially be like the North Korea of the world, like severely behind, in a dictatorship, and just with no access, because they would be completely cut off. Nobody would work with them. They would be on the embargo, like, and if they didn't have the Titan powers, which is literally the only thing that like keeps the world from eradicating them, that would have happened.
Yeah. You know what? With so many human beings in the world that creating global warming, so maybe killing 80% is the answer. I'm gonna stop talking from here. Yeah, I guess he is S tier regardless if you believe he's a villain or not. Actually, I don't even know.
Yes.
I don't even know if it's S tier.
He's S tier. To me, he's S tier.
I mean, he was very like, it was scary. It was scary to see him the way he was.
Every time he would slip back, because he like the way time worked for him was different. Every time he would slip into like the child Eren, I just felt so fucking bad. Like that was the one thing that I guess maybe worked for me in like feeling sympathy for him.
Yeah.
Every time, like, because his like child naive brain was still present while like all the other shit was happening.
Yeah, because technically, like, from first scene when we see him as a kid and he's crying under a tree, so he was aware of that, so he never really lived as a child. Like, from there on, he knew there was something wrong. He made another Titan eat his mom, because that happened, even though like Armin was like, stop talking about it, like, don't talk about it, whatever. It did happen. He made another Titan eat his mom instead. So it's something that he was kind of aware of it. He had to live by himself. He couldn't tell anybody. And then the conflict happened. He was a scout regiment. They never grew up as a kid. They just were forced to grow up. It was like child soldiers out in the world who have to go about doing this. It is sad. It's one of the only shows that you can rewatch it multiple times and pick up new things. Like, I rewatched it and now it's done. I have to rewatch it again. Yes. Just from like very beginning to like, you knew this since day one. It's just so sad.
We've definitely talked the longest about Eren. So
you know who's S tier? I think the author for Attack on Titan.
Yes.
S tier, not a villain, just S tier of a human being. For him to do this, like,
I heard some such things about him as I guess
I don't want to know.
opinions.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's a human as a writer.
As a writer, as an author, he is an S tier. Yes, I don't want to know.
Sounds good.
Like, as soon as I find out something about this human beings, like, I don't know.
Exactly. I was just like, I'm gonna scroll past that. Yeah. Okay, the last villain I had on the list, briefly, we have All for One. From My Hero Academia.
All for one, one for all.
Nobody cares because we still want to talk about Eren.
Eren. Well, I'm not fully caught up on My Hero, but I guess you go first because the last I remember is
you're not fully caught up.
So I remember like One for All fighting All for One where he got almost defeated, and then All for One is in the jail. Where they do go visit him, like he's under high surveillance, and I think he is making
sorry,
like, I'm very behind on that one. I haven't seen the last season, so that's where we are. I know he's like playing strings from behind from the prison, and his whole motivation is I am way behind. So that's another show that I need to catch up on. So his motivation is essentially he wants to take all the power.
Yes.
Yeah. Which makes him great.
He wants all the powers to himself. Just like stealing power from other people. Also.
All for one.
Yeah. I think as a villain, he's definitely S tier because of also the connection he has to our main character and his mentor and his family. Like the whole, you don't know this yet, so I'm not gonna spoil too much, but All Might's family background and his connection to like the power that he has. It's really interesting. Okay. And I really like that. And the one thing I fucking don't understand about My Hero Academia is why they didn't fucking kill All for One.
Maybe they couldn't
kill him.
Because
All for One is now, they had to build this fucking prison to hold him there. Like multiple levels of security.
Maybe they don't have penalty, like
Just kill
capital
him.
punishment.
Just kill him. Just throw him in space and let him dissipate. Just
That's funny. Somebody said, I don't know if you agree, My Hero Academia is an A tier all around. There's no, like, even the villains and characters, there's no S tier
really.
villains. Do you put Alpha 1 in S tier?
Shigaraki is a S tier villain for me.
Shigaraki is amazing.
Yeah.
That poor kid is being manipulated so
I love
badly.
Shigaraki.
Yeah.
And I even like the, what was his name? Overhaul?
Yeah, Overhaul. He was great.
Yeah.
I loved Overhaul.
I love his design.
His design
drip.
was amazing.
Yeah.
His drip was great. That's when Ari came about. I call Nico Ari. She's just the same, doesn't know how to control her powers. Yeah, Shigaraki was great. And Shigaraki, he's still around, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Overhaul and all. Yeah.
Keyblade Lover, all for one, might have some tragic Demon Slayer story, and we will not feel bad for him.
This is hilarious. This is like one of those things, like every time we Demon Slayer was like, if you give me a tragic story about this demon, especially that like the base guy, I was like, don't you dare tell me that he had a trauma as a child. Like, I don't want to feel bad for this villain. And they never did. I was like,
That
thank
is
God.
so funny.
I was like, kill him with a passion. I don't want to know. Daki was the most saddest thing.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yes, Daki, what was the brother's name?
brother, Daki and the brother. we all only know Daki.
Oh my God, I loved his name.
His name was great, but we don't know. Okay, is that most of your villain tier list?
That was it. Just to refresh on our tier list, we have Eren Yeager, Arlong, Muzan, and Million Knives in S tier. We have Makima in S tier too, but we're not sure if she's a villain or
Not
not.
sure.
We
Gyotaro,
have
what's his name?
Gyotaro, yes. We have Father from Fullmetal Alchemist and Crocodile in A tier.
Okay.
And then in the category, we have Light Yagami. We have Eneru from One Piece. And Rob Lucci.
from One Piece.
And Spandam is in the...
Yeah, he's even bottom of that.
yeah. And All for One, we didn't agree. I think he's S tier.
All for one, yeah. I think I will consider him to be S tier because his motivation is so strong that he's still around.
Yeah. Throughout this chat, people keep bringing up Lelouch.
Lelouch.
And we cannot talk about Lelouch today, guys, because Navi has not seen
But
Code Geass.
just give the voting because I didn't realize Lelouch was a villain. I thought Lelouch was the main
He's
guy or
not.
something.
He is my husband,
Okay.
and I love him with all my heart. So,
So he's not a villain?
He's obviously S tier. I don't know what to say.
He is a villain, but you love him still? I'm curious.
I don't know what to say without like literally spoiling the end of the series for you.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
So I'll just say I really love Lelouch.
Okay.
But people do compare Lelouch to Eren a lot, and they and say that like Lelouch was the better like way this kind of dynamic was handled.
Interesting.
So
how long is Code Geass?
it's I think 4 seasons.
Okay.
So
Well,
like
slowly
around
but surely, I will
a little
come around
under
to it.
100 episodes,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Watchdog, yes, I finished Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter has a great villains as well. If I'm gonna be watching other animes, you need to watch Hunter x Hunter.
Okay.
Like it's really good.
Code Geass is an actual homework.
Okay.
That show is hard to follow.
That's what I heard with Hunter x Hunter too, and I think I was fine. You be fine. Like I'll be fine as long as I'm not being reacting on, because then I have to really do my homework. If I'm watching on my own, I was like, okay, I will look this up later. We'll find this out.
Marketa
But
likes
JJ came
Lelouch.
before. Yeah,
Marketa likes Lelouch because he's a diva.
I heard.
Yes.
I heard he's a diva.
theater kid.
Yes. There was another that I want. Oh my God, there was another one that went past. That we couldn't. I wanted to see which other villains. What other animes that we have seen together?
I don't know. Oh, we saw the one with the orphanage.
Promise Neverland.
Promise Neverland.
There was some manga new chapters apparently on Viz the other day when I opened it up. I was like, oh, that would be cool. We don't really know.
Well, I
who the
heard
villain
the
is.
season 2 was so ass-tastic that I don't even want to watch it. But I really liked the first season, and I think the caretaker, nurse, or teacher,
nurse,
or whatever
the
she
villain.
was.
Yeah,
She was definitely a fucking villain.
yeah. So. Okay, so you were in the drunk explanation for Hunter x Hunter. Were you able
Yes,
to follow?
I was drunk.
Were you following it?
I mean, yes. I just don't remember it now because it's been so long.
Fair enough.
And I was also drunk.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's long, but you can like watch a lot of it really fast. It's just isn't completed yet, so I hope they finish it up later.
Boondocks is an anime, so Uncle Ruckus is S tier villainy.
Yes, Stink Meaner.
Stink Meaner is definitely the best anime villain of all time.
Yeah. So, guys, if you like this, we'll do this again. We'll probably do it with like Bleach and Naruto villains. We are trying to do
No, you're giving
Naruto.
too much homework. You're gonna have to do that with somebody else.
I will do it with somebody else. Yes, that's what I was going at. Like, we'll do somewhere else because there's no way that Ketty's ever getting out of watching. Like, if she started watching Naruto, she will never finish.
Yes,
we need her to watch JJK and other stuff beforehand.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get somebody else. We are trying to do sub versus dub with Naruto villains, so that would be good. Yeah, it will be good. So no such thing as too much homework. Yeah, when it comes to us, yes, I like barely finished Trigun. It took me so long.
Which anime has best drip?
There's so much. You gonna go with Lelouch?
I mean, obviously.
Obviously.
I was thinking about like which show in general. I think Demon Slayer has the best drip. Everybody's like textures and patterns on their clothing. I just love that.
Honestly, JJK has the best drip.
Huh.
Yeah, beside the school uniforms, but they all actually do have a good outfits.
Yeah.
I do love JJK.
So yeah, I don't really like most anime is about like school kids.
Yeah.
So they mostly wear uniforms, and I'm just like, where's your personality?
Yeah, but they have personality.
Yeah.
So in each of their, like, even though they go to school, they don't really do the school exactly My Hero Academia, but they're all of like it's black, but they all have a differently done based on their personality. Like Yuzi has red in it. Other people have like different things in it. So their uniforms are changed the way they would wear their own things.
We did do a drip rating
A while back.
We'll
do it one more time.
I brought proof on my phone. I had
Yes.
proof of why Lelouch is S tier.
Yes.
And his fashion is impeccable.
Yeah, we'll try to do this. Our goal is to do it once a month and be a little bit longer. So we'll try to do more of this and then possibly bring up the images and do it properly.
And also, the manga club is coming up. So please be on the lookout for that. We're not quite ready to start like next week or anything like that, but soon.
I can't believe it. This month is almost done. So starting January, so you guys will hear a lot of news about it on a Discord. If you haven't joined a Discord, go for it. Keep an eye on that one. We'll go from there. Do you have anything else that we need to discuss?
No, unless you watched Boogie, but we don't have to talk about it.
I watched it. I watched 75% of it on really high speed.
Yeah. Okay. We can talk about it another time.
We'll talk about it another time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was fun. I love anime villain tiers. And once we watch JJK, then we'll do a tier with the anime for that as well.
Okay.
And I will finish the Trigun. All of it.
Oh my god. Yes,
there.
then we will have a Trigun stream because I need to talk about it.
Yes. Trigun stream. Another place where human beings are fucking up and it makes sense why villains are doing what they're doing.
This is just constant. We are doomed.
We are doomed. Exactly. All right. So
I'm gonna go play the song.
So Ketty is gonna try her best. I will see you guys later. Tomorrow we're doing a One Piece. Join us at 4 p.m. tomorrow and we'll see you then. Bye.
Get ready, cause it's about time for you to speak your mind. Secret Girls Club. Secret Girls Club. Super Secret Girls Club.
Elena, Misako, tell them Normies send their regards, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great week.